dealing with President Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
No, you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is principled. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better.
Oh, it mattered. It mattered big time.
You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
This doesn't do a thing to solve the problem.
One at a time.
It sounds more.
Hugh, go ahead.
Why would you be willing to put somebody who's a maniac one heartbeat away from the presidency?
But I've gotten to know him over the last 3 or 4 days. He has a wonderful temperament. He's just fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Classic. What are you going to do?
Christie.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
Businessman Donald Trump.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio.
Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush.
Gave him a little pat on the shoulder there. Said, hey, buddy, I'm getting by.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Republican candidates.
And Dr. Ben Carson, please come out on the stage. He's standing there as well. Dr. Carson.
And Donald Trump.
Donald Trump knew exactly what to do. He wanted to be there, coming out there last.
And lastly, we welcome back to the debate stage Donald Trump.
Kasich. Can I introduce
Kasich? It's so noisy in here. Yes, yes. We're going to introduce Ohio Governor John Kasich.
An afterthought. A complete, oh my God, a complete afterthought. Oh, by the way, yeah, John Kasich.
That's for public purpose. But what Donald Trump did was use eminent domain to try to take the property of an elderly woman on the Strip in Atlantic City. That is not public purpose. That is downright wrong. And here's the problem with that.
Okay.
The problem was it was to tear down. It was to
Jeb
tear
wants
down.
to be. He wants to be a
was
tough
tear
guy. He
down-
wants to be a tough guy
It was
tonight.
to tear down
I didn't
the
take
house,
the property.
and the net
I
result
didn't.
was you tried.
I didn't
and
take
you
the
lost
property.
in the court.
The woman ultimately didn't want to do that.
That is not true.
And
the
it was
simple
great that
fact
I
is,
didn't.
to turn this into a limousine parking lot for his casinos is not a public use. And in Florida, based on what we did, we made that impossible. It is part of our Constitution. That's the better approach. That is the conservative approach.
Mr. Trump, take 30 seconds.
Let me just, he wants to be a tough guy. A lot of times, you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
How tough is it?
Quiet, be quiet. He gets booed, but hey.
That's all of his donors and special interests.
There you go.
So, that's what it is.
There you go.
And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets for I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money.
So true. So true.
The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that. Eminent domain, the Keystone Pipeline, do you consider that a private job?
I consider it a public use.
No, let me ask you, Jeb. Do you consider the Keystone Pipeline private? Is it public or private?
It's a public use.
Oh, really? A public use? No, it's a private job.
It's a public use.
It's a private job.
Established by the courts, federal, state
You
courts.
wouldn't have the Keystone Pipeline that you want so badly without eminent domain.
All right, gentlemen,
you wouldn't have massive, excuse me, Josh, you wouldn't have massive factories without eminent domain.
Man, he just goes full ballistic on loving on you. It's amazing. It's amazing. But now that we know that this is what happens, and some of these people, they put themselves in, they put their foot in the bucket. You know, Ted Cruz is going after Trump, so Trump is going to come after you hard.
Should be a good attribute for a president.
I have to give Ted Cruz is absolutely right in that. There's no doubt about that. He may have not had any friends. He's working with senators, but guess what? Those senators are working for themselves, trying to enrich themselves. Enrich them by more power, getting on more committees, getting reelected, getting more PAC money, getting more things, you know. Obviously, the trough is there. The government trough is there, paid for by the people. And every senator, every congressman is trying to get a slice of that to go back to their state, their district, for their funding. And so one thing about Ted Cruz is that, you know, he wants to stand up. There's some things I've got with Ted, you know, some problems I have and issues with Ted Cruz as well. But I'll tell you what, Ted Cruz over any other Democrat, over any other liberal running, oh, in a heartbeat, in a freaking heartbeat, folks.
Hey, here's a man, Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood over here. He talks about corruption on his financial disclosure form.
Against your own ties and your own suits. All right.
You know why? Because
Why don't you make
they
them in
devalue
America?
their currencies.
No.
They devalue their currencies.
Well, then make them in
that
America.
Makes it well, you don't know anything about business. You lose
Well,
on
make them
everything
in
you do.
America.
Let me just tell you. They devalue their currencies. China, Mexico, everybody, Japan, with the cars. They devalue their currencies to such an extent that our businesses cannot compete with them. Our workers lose their
And
jobs.
so you make them
but
in
you
China
wouldn't
and
know
in
anything
Russia.
about it because you're a lousy
Well, I don't know
businessman.
anything about bankrupting four companies.
No,
You
I
bankrupted
know,
four
you know what?
companies.
You know what?
I don't know anything about
You know what?
starting a
That's
university.
close.
That was a fake university.
First of all,
Marco Rubio got in a couple of shots there too, in terms of that's true. You know, bankruptcies are there. I mean, if you're going to talk about your successes, you know, people are going to be looking at your failures. And, you know, Donald should have just come out there basically and said, hey, look, I've had many successes. I've had failures as well. In business, you're not going to be batting 100%. But I'll tell you one thing, at least I'm out there batting there, Marco.
A fake university.
that's called.
There are people that borrowed $36,000 to go to Trump University, and they're suing him now. $36,000 to go to a university.
And by the way,
that's a fake school.
And by the way,
and you know what they got? They got to take a picture with a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump.
And by the way,
that's what they
I've
got for the
won most of the
$36,000.
I want to move
and
on.
they actually did a very good job. But I've won most of the lawsuit.
Wow, man. The fireworks were just like one after another. I mean, this was just like people going after it, like gladiators in battle, you know, trying to get your shots in or whatever. Trump got his shots in, others got their shots in, but in the end, Trump's shots were bigger and nobody else cared about the rest. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already and you like our content, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. You all know what to do. Take a look at our other video links above and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.